Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Catherine Mlenga and this segment is Talk to Kathy. In case this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for stopping by. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification button so that you're notified next time I post a video. Today's segment of Talk to Kathy, we're going to discuss types of jobs you can do in the US apart from caregiving. Caregiving is the most popular job that people do when they come to the US. Unfortunately, some people think or are convinced that caregiving is the only job you can do in the US. But I will help in this video enlighten you on other jobs that you can do apart from caregiving. So I have had conversations with a number of people, and the common reason they all give as to why they're still doing caregiving or why they prefer caregiving is because caregiving has overtime. And most people think if they go into another industry or find another job, they will not get overtime. Well, I am here to inform you that that is entirely wrong. There are other jobs that offer overtime. There are other jobs that do have 3 shifts that you can pick from: morning shift, evening shift, and overnight shift. Yes. The second most common reason people gave about caregiving was you can work as a caregiver without a social security and a work permit. Well, you don't really find that aside caregiving. Next most common reason people gave as to why they choose caregiving, why they prefer caregiving, was because you don't need a degree to be a caregiver. It doesn't require a lot for you to be a caregiver. You can be a caregiver even without or before you have an HCA, you have your 72 hours, you have any qualification, you can start. It's easy to start as a caregiver. And they think you can't find another job that offers those same requirements or benefits. Well, no. There are other jobs that only need you to know how to speak English. There are other jobs that only need you to know how to type. There are other jobs that only need you to have a high school certificate, of which most Malawians, most Africans have a high school certificate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but most Malawians have an MSCE, which is a high school certificate. Most Kenyans, Nigerians, at least we did that secondary level compared to Americans. Moving on. In this video, I am going to share with you those types of jobs. Today you're gonna know. Before we get excited and go into the types of jobs you can do apart from caregiving, let me just say that you need a work permit and a social for most of the jobs that you can work apart from caregiving. Yeah, Kathy, enough of the hopes. Thank you for raising our hopes high. Yeah, your hopes need to be high because you're gonna get a new job. You're getting a new job. You're getting a fulfilling job. Okay? Yeah. It's not rush. Okay, we're gonna get jobs. I am here to help you get a job that you like. Okay? Yes. Let's talk about qualifications. A lot of people ask about, oh no, but I don't have a degree from the US. My degree, I don't have experience in the US. If you have a degree from Malawi, if you have a degree from Nigeria, you have a degree from wherever, that's a degree. Take it from me, that is a degree. You don't need to have a degree from a United States university or college for you to be called a degree holder. You have a degree from University of Malawi, that is a degree, my friend. That is a degree. You will apply your jobs. You apply for jobs and work with that degree. That's your qualification. You don't need to go back to school and do the same thing you did unless you want to change your field. But you don't need to go back to school and do the same thing you did simply because someone told you you cannot find a job in the US if you do not have a US degree. You have a degree from back home. That's a degree. That's what you're going to use to find a job. Okay, you have a certificate from back home. You did PIKE, you did ABE, you did da 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 da. That's what you're going to use to find a job in the US, because that's your qualification. Okay, don't let nobody lie to you and say, oh no, you cannot work in the US with the degree that you got in Malawi. Bro, if they only needed US degrees, you didn't find an American in China doing school. You didn't find an American in India doing school, because Americans do go outside this great America to do school. Okay, do your research. Americans go out to do school. The school we think, okay, America is great. They do go to UK to do school. If they only needed American degrees, nobody will go out of America to do school. Trust me. Okay, so you're going to use your degree to find a job. You're going to use your certificate. You're going to use whatever you have, including your MSCE, to find a job. If they say high school, they mean your MSCE. Well, someone will tell you Kathy did her high school in the US, so yeah, that's why it's not a problem for her to get a job that requires a high school. Well, yeah, I did my high school in the US because I wanted to do my high school in the US, okay? Not because it's a requirement. You can use your MSCE that you got from Malawi and tell them this is equivalent to an MSCE. That's number one. Number two, experience. People say, oh no, I was working in Malawi as that. That's your experience. Don't let no one lie to you to say, oh no, they only need experience. They don't. Who was working in Malawi? You. Who has 5 years experience working at the hospital? You. Who was a manager at a bank? You. Who was a lawyer in Malawi? You. Who won cases in Malawi? You. So you're gonna work using that experience. That is your CV. That's the CV you're gonna use. They won't say, oh no, but this is not the US. If they say that, go find another company. Okay? Don't waste your time with them. They don't need you. They won't want you. Go find another company. Sharp, sharp. Don't let them use you. People get used because the company tells them, oh no, you don't have experience working in the US. Girl, I have experience working in Malawi, and that's actually more experience than working in the US. The industry here is well advanced, but in Malawi you have to fight to get what you want. Here in the US you don't really fight, so I do have experience that you need. Use your experience to bargain. Use your experience as a Malawian to find a job. Don't let them use you by saying, oh no, you don't have experience in the US. You don't have da. Tell them I have experience, baby. I do have experience. So if this doesn't qualify to be experience at your company, I will go somewhere where this qualifies to be experience. Okay? So I've tackled on experience and qualification. Don't ever look down on yourself again to say my degree doesn't qualify to be called a degree in the US, or my experience doesn't qualify as experience in the US. It does. Okay? If you do not have a social in the work permit, you might have troubles getting a job. With your degree, your qualification and everything, you need a work permit and the social to get a job. You do. Unless it's a job that requires you to have certain qualifications that can only be done in the US. You understand? Like caregiving. Not necessarily while you are in the US, because you can do your HCA online while you're wherever you are, but they accept people who wrote the US state exams. You can do your studies wherever you can, but you need to write your exams, your state exams in the US. So unless it's something like that, like let's say you're a hairdresser and they only require you to have a certificate as a hairdresser, you get that certificate. You don't need a social in most cases, but you don't need a social. If you're gonna go into the white collar industry, you need a social in the work permit. Most of them do not employ people that do not have a social in the work permit. The blue collar jobs are the ones that really employ people without social and work permit. In Washington State. Again, this is for Washington State. Don't go to Texas saying Catherine said, I can get a job without a social security. I can get a blue collar job. Texas don't play like that. Okay, don't go to New York saying, oh, Catherine said, New York don't play like that. Washington does. Okay, so you need to work on getting your social and your work permit. Okay, let's get into how are you going to get these jobs. Most companies recruit people off of Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and Glassdoor. These are the 3 top recruiting websites, 3 top websites where job seekers go to find jobs and companies use to find employees. First, you're gonna need to have accounts on one either. Okay, you can pick one that you want, or you can have all of them. I have accounts on everything. Trust me, I have accounts on everything just to increase my chances of being seen and getting hired. By being seen and getting hired, some companies won't post their jobs online, but they will just go and browse through they'll just go and browse through the website to see who is there, put in their key qualifications that they're looking for, and find people like that. So it is good to create an account on all of the platforms, just in case a company that doesn't want to list their job on the website just goes down to find someone to invite for their interview. Some will just go and check your CV and call you. I've had calls like that where someone just says, okay, I saw your CV on Indeed, I saw your CV on ZipRecruiter. You might also want to do LinkedIn. I don't know why I don't do LinkedIn, but most big companies post on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is a very good resource because it's like the Facebook, the Twitter for professionals. You get what I mean? LinkedIn is like the Facebook for companies, for big fish. So yeah, most companies post on LinkedIn as well. You might want to look into LinkedIn as well. Update your CV. A CV. You need a CV. Don't go on Indeed and just write your details on Indeed. Oh yeah, I have worked here, Upload a CV, like a well-crafted CV, a well-crafted resume. Upload it. They should know you're serious. They should know you know what you're doing. They should know you're a professional. They should know when they go through Indeed, they find 10, 5, 6, 17 people that have just written, on the Indeed CV, have just written their information like that. And then they see you with a proper document that can be downloaded, a PDF uploaded that can be downloaded. They'll be like, okay, who is this professional? Who is this smart person? Who is this guy that knows what he's doing? You understand? So get a CV, write a CV, a good CV. There are apps that you can use to draft a CV. This is an app that I use to draft my CV. There are different apps that you can use to create your resume, CV, or cover letters. You can just go on Apple Store or Google Play Store, or whatever you use to download apps in your phone or your computer, whatever device you're using, right? Find something that works best for you. This works for me. You've created a CV, you've opened an account on a recruiting platform. What next? Search for your job. Search for what you want to do. Simple and straightforward. Search for it and apply. Apply for as many jobs as you can apply for. Then prepare for interviews. Show up to the interview. Then do your best. Get the job. That's it. So here are some of the jobs you can get that have an overtime aspect. 1, security. Okay. When you say security, everyone thinks G4S. Everyone thinks you're standing in Walmart. Everyone thinks you're standing at Fred Meyer. Everyone thinks you're at Lowe's. Everyone thinks you're a bodyguard or something like that. No. There are companies, okay? Different companies. There's Security of America. There's Platinum Security. There are a lot of companies, security companies that do different stuff. Some companies specialize in security officers that stand in Walmart, that stand in front of a hotel, that stand at Fred Meyer, that stand at a car park, okay? That's what that company does. You might have seen security cars moving around in town. They're written security. Yeah, companies like Security of America will give you a car like that to do a routine patrol, You'll be a patrol officer who is moving around town. They'll give you a zone, like this is where you're going to be patrolling. Okay, so your job will be in the car and drive around that area. Other companies that specialize in guarding homes, guarding apartments, like I don't know at the apartment where you stay, but at the apartment where I stay, there's a security officer who is always in a car. He's just patrolling. That's all they do. They are patrolling. So they patrol at our apartment, they go to another apartment, patrol, just move around. They go to another apartment, move around, and then come back to my apartment, to our complex, move around, something like that. So when you hear security, it's not just standing in Walmart. No, there are different types of security companies. Do your research. The type of job you want, do your research. What you need to get that job, what that job requires of you, what are your duties and responsibilities. This is something you're going to hear a lot in my videos. Do your own research. Most people know what they know. They might know a lot, they might know a little, they might know false things, they might know true things. Okay, so it is good to do your own research. I'm not saying don't ask people, I'm not saying don't listen to people. It is good to ask people that are doing it, that are in that industry, that have been here for a longer period. But people know what they know. Okay, they are limited to the information that they have, that they research when they research. So let's say I did my research in 2022 and haven't done any further research on a specific topic. I am going to give you details of what I knew in 2022. This world is revolving. Things get updated every now and then. All right, I will tell you what I knew in 2022. It's now 2025, 3 years later. There must have been an update. There must have been new information. There must have been, you get what I mean? So you're going to hear this a lot. Do your own research. That's how we go. That's how we move on. Just go on Google. They won't charge you for Googling stuff. They won't arrest you because you went on Google and wrote jobs that you can do without a degree. They won't arrest you for doing that. They won't deport you for going on Google. Just type jobs that pay $25 above in the US. They will not arrest you for doing that. Trust me. Okay? The good thing about asking is you have somewhere to start your research from. So you have to build from that information. That's how people grow. That's how we move. Okay? So yeah, do your research. The next job you can do in the US that do not need a degree, driving. Be a driver. You know how to drive? Choose between breaking your back as a CNA or driving. And you don't need to have driven for 10 years for you to drive a bus. You don't need to have driven for 25 years, for 2 years for you to be a driver anyway. No. Again, different companies have different requirements. You can get that job. Driving, they pay per hour, So there are a lot of jobs. Just think about it in your head. What about this? That's, how I get information is I just think about it. What about driving? I Google driving. What about waste management? I'll Google that. Whatever, trust me, whatever comes on your mind, someone already asked that. I guarantee you that. Someone already Googled that. Whatever you're trying to research now, someone already did that research. Go on Google, there are answers. You'll find answers. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed and hit the notification button so that you're notified next time I post a video. Share this video if you found it helpful so that it helps another person. And please like and comment. When you comment, it pushes the video up so that it gets a lot of views. Getting a lot of views means a lot of people are being informed. So I appreciate you for always coming to my channel and for deciding to subscribe and hitting that notification button, and also for coming back tomorrow after I upload a new video. Bye.